This is Vicki Horsley, Dogs Trust behaviourist. Now then, Vic, I'm a bit worried about my new dog, and I wanted to know what can I do to get him used to the idea of fireworks and the sound of fireworks before New Year's Eve.
Okay, as we can see, Daniel's quite a young pup, so he's at the best age to do a bit of habituation with him. And habituation simply means getting him used to things that could be potentially scary. If you present it to him over a period of time, perhaps a couple of sessions every day, what happens is he learns, because there's nothing scary that's happening, he'll get used to it, he'll learn to ignore it. Okay, so what we do, if you can see, he's having a bit of a play at the moment. So anytime he's doing something that's really fun, like having a game, or you're doing some positive reward training with him, or you're getting ready to go for a walk, anytime that he's naturally excited and happy, what you need to do is, if you've got one of these CDs, like this one sounds scary, you start off by having it on a really, really low volume, and let's just press play. And when the noises start, as long as he ignores it, that's fantastic. He's learning, there's nothing to be worried about, so you can just continue with what he's doing. So you do this, oh, just hear it now? And as you can see, he's just completely ignoring it. Hearing the sound of fireworks, and couldn't care less. And that's exactly what we're looking for. So we would do this one session now. Perhaps later in the day we would do it again, but with the volume turned up to the next notch. So it's a gradual turning up of the volume, but he's learning, there's nothing to worry about, I can just ignore it. And that's how you get them used to it.
DAP collar. DAP stands for dog appeasing pheromone, which is why it's called DAP. It's a smell that you don't consciously smell, but de-stresses dogs. And so the collar is impregnated with the stuff, so it has to fit fairly tightly around the dog's neck to get it warm so that it diffuses the substance. And put the collar on, lasts for a month, so it wants to go on well before firework night or New Year's Eve, so that you've got the de-stressing effect, and it all helps part of the training process. And just goes around the dog's neck, and as long as you can just fit your fingers in between the collar and the dog's neck, then that's fine. The collars come in these sealed packs because you don't want them leaking out before you start putting them on the dog. And very easy, just make a loop over the dog's head and then tighten them up so that you've just got room to put your fingers between the collar and the dog, so that they're not too tight, but they're close enough so that it gets nice and warm and exudes the DAP. And then pull it through, and you just pair of scissors, cut off the excess bit, and that stays there for a month, works for a month. The other thing that's worth trying are these tablets, which are what's called a nutraceutical. In other words, they're a drug, but they're not actually licensed as a drug. And this is a product called Silky. Really useful, again, just aimed at de-stressing the dog. You can use it intermittently, you don't have to use it all the time. But certainly a few days before you're expecting the noise that's going to cause the stress.
And do I sprinkle that onto his regular food?
It gets mixed in with ordinary food.
Okay.
Yes.
What about if my dog has a really bad fit when the fireworks are going off? What should I do?
Okay, if you've got a really ingrained fear or a phobia, then you really need to ask your vet to refer you to a good local behaviourist. You'll need to do a programme, and it can take a few months, but it has to be done outside of the fireworks season so that you can actually control when they're exposed to the loud bangs. But if you want your dog to really cope with fireworks season, it's the only way to go, so do think about seeing a behaviourist.